This is Westbury, a predominantly coloured neighbourhood in Johannesburg,
Come and join us here in Westbury Live.
where people of mixed heritage live.
Think Africa is just savannas, safari selfies, and endless sunsets? Think again. Africa is basically the ultimate remix. Think Spotify Shuffle, but in human form. Cultures collide, languages mash up, and ancestry charts look like someone just spilled paint all over a family tree. Today, we're diving headfirst into the 10 African countries where mixed-race populations aren't just a footnote, they're the headline act. Buckle up, because this isn't your grandma's history lesson. This is diversity, drama, and delicious fusion rolled into one unstoppable countdown. Number 10. Seychelles. Seychelles isn't just a vacation postcard where Instagrammers pretend they're models. It's a human melting pot with a side of coconut curry. Over 100,000 Seychellois carry a mix of African, European, and Asian genes, a blend that started when French and British settlers, African slaves, Indian laborers, and Chinese traders all decided to crash the island party. Basically, it's like if history threw the ultimate house party and everyone RSVP'd. Language, Seychellois Creole, part French, part African rhythm, all island vibe. It's like the language version of a smoothie, sweet, spicy, and impossible to resist. Music, you've got reggae, sega, and folk dancing together like they've been planning this reunion for centuries. Food, think seafood curries, doing the cha-cha with French pastries sprinkled with African spices. Seriously, one bite and you'll question every meal you've ever had. Architecture, colonial charm meets Afro-Indian flair, so even the buildings are showing off their mixed heritage. And the social network, tighter than your Wi-Fi password, everyone is somehow related, friends with friends, or at least has the same neighbor's cousin twice removed. Economically, they're doing well with tourism and fisheries, but the real treasure, the people, the creativity, resilience, and ability to throw a party at literally any excuse. Fun fact, the Creole Festival in Seychelles isn't just a cultural event. It's basically a week-long celebration of, hey, we made history tasty and musical. And yes, you will want to move there, at least until you realize you left your Wi-Fi at home. And just when you thought Seychelles was maxing out on charm, brace yourself. Next up is a country so tiny it could fit in your living room, yet its mixed-race community packs a cultural punch big enough to make the neighbors jealous. Say hello to São Tomé and Príncipe. Number 9. São Tomé and Príncipe. Tiny but mighty. That's São Tomé and Príncipe. Don't blink or you'll miss the islands, but miss the cultural punch? Impossible. Meet the Forros, a mixed-race community born when Portuguese colonizers brought enslaved Africans and later freed laborers, creating a population smoother than your favorite chocolate bar. Literally, since São Tomé produces some of the world's finest cocoa. Language, a Creole that flows like melted chocolate. African tones with a Portuguese accent. Music, African drums and Portuguese guitar riffs throw a duet that makes Spotify playlists feel amateur. Festivals. Imagine centuries of cultural exchange bottled into one week-long celebration of music, dance, and pure joy. Food, local spices and colonial recipes partying on your plate, every meal a historical remix. Economically, cocoa and tourism keep the lights on, but culturally, the Forros run the show. Fun fact, every bite of cocoa tells centuries of history, resilience, and fusion. Sweet, complex, and unforgettable. And if chocolatey beats and Creole streets didn't blow your mind, Madagascar is next, an island that's basically a United Nations of ancestry, where traditions from two continents collide in ways that'll make you do a double take. Number 8. Madagascar. Madagascar isn't just lemurs, baobab trees, and oddly shaped rocks. It's a full-blown cultural cocktail. The Malagasy people emerged from Austronesian settlers from Southeast Asia, mixing with African migrants, producing a community so unique it could win Best Cultural Blend at the Universe Awards. Language: Malagasy carries Austronesian roots layered with African influence, appearing in poetry, storytelling, and casual gossip sessions. Culture: Famadihana, or the turning of the bones, is a centuries-old ceremony honoring ancestors. Basically, a family reunion with skeletons, drums, and dance moves that would impress any TikTok choreographer. Music and dance: imagine traditional African rhythms jamming with Austronesian melodies. You'll want to clap, stomp, and maybe try to join in, even if your rhythm is terrible. Cuisine: spicy African-inspired dishes meet sweet island flavors. Your taste buds will be writing thank you notes. Economically, agriculture and ecotourism dominate, but the real treasure: the Malagasy people themselves. Their mixed heritage proves blending cultures can produce harmony, creativity, and resilience. Basically, everything your high school history teacher said was impossible. And if Madagascar is proving islands can throw the ultimate ancestry party, Mauritius takes it to a whole new level. Like if history had a nightclub and every continent showed up number 7, Mauritius. Mauritius might be small, but its cultural diversity is anything but. Around 1.3 million people live here, with ancestries stretching across Africa, Europe, India, and China. Colonizers, enslaved Africans, Indian laborers, and Chinese traders all contributed to a population that's basically a living, breathing mosaic. Language: Mauritian Creole leads the chat, with English and French on backup. Because why settle for one when you can have 3? Festivals: Diwali, Eid, Holi, you name it, they celebrate it, and your FOMO will be real. Food: sweet, spicy, savory. A roller coaster that doesn't require a seatbelt. Economically, sugar, tourism, and textiles keep the island running. But culturally, the mixed-race population is the glue, the confetti, and the soundtrack all in one. Here, diversity isn't just a fact. It's a lifestyle, a non-stop festival, and sometimes a 3-course meal with fireworks on top. And from Mauritius's non-stop party, we sail west to Cape Verde, an archipelago where volcanic islands meet Portuguese influence. And music isn't just a hobby, it's a passport to the world number 6. Cape Verde. Off the west coast of Africa lies Cape Verde, 10 volcanic islands that may be tiny on the map, but are colossal in culture. Most Cape Verdeans are of mixed African and Portuguese heritage, a combo that's created a national identity as unique as a limited edition sneaker drop. Music: Morna, the soulful genre that fuses African rhythms with Portuguese melodies, tells stories of love, loss, and resilience. Think of it as the audio version of Cape Verde's history. Complex, beautiful, and unforgettable. Creole, the language here is a linguistic mixtape, borrowing from African and Portuguese roots. And the food? Imagine stews, seafood, and spices dancing together like nobody's watching. Economically, tourism, agriculture, and remittances keep the islands afloat. But culturally, it's the people who bring the heartbeat. Their mixed-race identity drives creativity, rhythm, and a lifestyle that's as colorful as the volcanic sunsets. From the volcanic beats of Cape Verde, we jet east to Angola, where mixed heritage doesn't just influence music and food, it rewrites the cultural playbook. Number 5. Angola. Angola isn't just diamonds and oil, it's cultural dynamite thanks to the mesticos, descendants of Portuguese colonizers and indigenous African groups. In Luanda, African and European traditions collide like 2 DJs fighting over the same turntable. Music: Semba and Kazamba mix African rhythms with Portuguese melodies so seamlessly you'll be tapping your feet before your brain catches up. Cuisine: local staples with European flair, bold, rich, and unapologetically Angolan. Even fashion reflects this fusion. Streetwear meets colonial elegance in a way that says, yes, history, we see you. Economically and creatively, mesticos play a huge role, from business to the arts, showing that mixed heritage isn't just history. It's a living, breathing influence, shaping the nation every day. And just when you think Angola has peaked, Mozambique steps in, where mesticos are weaving African and European traditions into the social fabric, like master weavers on a cultural loom. Number 4. Mozambique. In Mozambique, mesticos are more than a community. They're a bridge between continents. Descendants of Portuguese settlers and indigenous Africans, they thrive particularly in urban centers where culture, commerce, and creativity collide. Language: Portuguese dominates, but local languages like Makua and Zikangana thrive alongside it, reflecting a blended heritage. Music, dance, and cuisine: picture African rhythms jamming with Portuguese-inspired dishes, each bite, beat, and step a celebration of centuries of fusion. Mestico influence isn't just cultural, it's political, artistic, and economic. These communities show that identity isn't just ancestry, it's about actively shaping today while honoring yesterday. From Mozambique's sun-soaked cities, we head to Zimbabwe, where history, resilience, and creativity collide in the colored community. Number 3. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe's mixed-race population, often called the colored community, has roots tracing back to British colonial times. Primarily African and European descent, they've carved out a cultural identity that's distinct, resilient, and inspiring. Language: English flows alongside Shona and Ndebele, creating a linguistic cocktail that's as smooth as it is complex. Music, culinary traditions, and social customs blend African and European influences in ways that feel natural yet fascinating. Business, education, and the arts. The colored community has left their mark across the nation, proving that mixed heritage doesn't dilute identity, it amplifies it, turning history into living culture. Next, Namibia, a smaller community, but one with a heritage punch that proves size doesn't measure influence. Number 2. Namibia. Namibia's Basta community is a shining example of how a small population can have a massive impact. Mixed-race descendants of Dutch settlers and indigenous Khoisan people, the Basta live mainly in Rehoboth, where traditions are celebrated with pride, style, and flair. Language: Afrikaans predominates, but music, dance, storytelling, and crafts keep their mixed heritage alive. Festivals, full of color, rhythm, and energy. Proof that influence isn't about numbers, it's about presence. Agriculture, trade, and local culture all benefit from the Basta touch, proving that small but mighty is very real. And finally, South Africa, the grand finale, the heavyweight champion of mixed-race populations, where cultural fusion isn't just history, it's a way of life. Number 1. South Africa. South Africa tops the list with one of Africa's largest mixed-race populations, the colored community. Descendants of indigenous Africans, enslaved people, and European settlers, their ancestry is a mosaic so rich it makes kaleidoscopes look basic. Concentrated in the Western Cape, African, Dutch, Malay, and Indian influences blend seamlessly. Languages: Afrikaans, English, and indigenous tongues coexist like a perfectly tuned orchestra. Music, cuisine, art, daily life all reflect this vibrant fusion. From agriculture and crafts to business, arts, and politics, the colored community has shaped modern South Africa. They show that mixed heritage isn't just a historical note, it's a source of resilience, creativity, and national identity. Africa's diversity isn't just geography, it's alive in its people, in the rhythm of its music, the flavors on its plates, and the stories written into DNA. From Seychelles' island, melting pots, to South Africa's urban mosaics, mixed-race communities prove that fusion isn't just possible, it's extraordinary. So, which country's story blew your mind the most? Drop it in the comments. Let's get this cultural conversation buzzing. And hey, Like, share, and subscribe for more high-energy journeys into Africa's incredible, colorful, and sometimes downright shocking cultures. Trust me, this countdown, just the tip of the iceberg, and the adventure is only getting bigger.